9-time Olympic champion, 8-time world champion, 15 times sub-10, 37 times sub-20 30, and 67 times over 820 in long jump. Carl Lewis.
Thank you.
67 times. So welcome to Oslo. I was trying to find in the archives, you ran here 100 meters in the past, but never long jump here in Oslo. But do you remember something from the meet in the past?
Well, first of all, I remember when I first came to Norway, it was way back in 1980, and we competed, and the meet was so small that we had to stay in people's houses. There were no hotels in Ardal. So I've had a great experience going, I had a great experience here, and then the competition here was wonderful because I remember 1989, it was on my birthday. So I received probably a bowl the size of this table of strawberries, the whole stadium singing happy birthday. So that was a great time for me. So, obviously running for so long and being in so many different meets, things other than just the races sometimes stand out, and that's one of those days.
How are you now?
Great, things are going well, and extremely busy, and one of the things I did, one of my teammates, Theodore Burrell, was a head coach at Houston. So on top of my, UN work and my company and everything else, I started working with him. And I thought I would just kind of take some time and help in coaching, but I realized I just decided to get rid of all my free time. So things are extremely busy right now.
In your past memories, you competed nearly at every meet in the world. Is there anything special you are missing from that time?
I think the best day of my career was the day I retired because I had no regrets, 0 regrets at the end. I exceeded my expectation 100-fold. I was ready to move on, and I think that I don't really think I missed anything. I was able to compete in every country, every environment, all around the world. I had success places, I won races, I lost races, I did it all. And so there was no looking back. I look back and with fond memories, and like I tell a lot of people a lot of times, they talk about my career, and basically I'm a piece of paper now. And I'm in books and papers, and that's it. And it's just memories, but it were great memories that I never want to second guess.
Do you have a chance to follow the current scene of world of athletics?
Yeah,
what is your opinion? What is going on now?
Well, I do actually have a chance. Not as much as some of the, especially in Europe, because we don't get as much on television. But the internet has kind of filled in the blanks. And the thing is that I don't comment a lot on the people running now because it's their era. I mean, it's I can sit back and say, oh, this is my opinion. But the reality is that I ran, it's over. My boat has sailed, and there's no anchor. So now it's time to focus the energy on them, and I think it's great what the athletes are doing. I want everyone to run as fast as they can, win every single medal, have all the success they can, and make as much money as they can. You know that. So that's where I look at it. And if people ask me for advice, I give advice if they do it, and so I just take it that way.
How is Leroy's son doing?
Leroy's son's doing very well, and that's kind of one of the things that motivated me to work with him coaching. Because Leroy's son is a freshman, and I was his main coach this year. So we have plans, big plans for the future, and I think he'll be in the Olympic Games. And if he makes an American team, I just hope we don't drop the stick anymore. That's the thing I've not figured out, why we can't pass the baton anymore. I don't know what it is. I just went to a little fun run, and there were like 30 kids, 30 kids like 13, and none of them dropped the stick. America can't. So we want to bring that back to the US.
Any questions to Carl Lewis, please?
Where do you store all your medals?
Believe it or not, the World Championship and Olympic medals are in storage. And I started that in 1984. I got a safe deposit box, and every Olympics or World Championships, I would put them in there, and I would not see them until the next championships. And it mainly is because I never thought a medal could win a race, so I didn't want to look and think in the past, so I always put them away. So they're in storage right now, but I'm going to I'm going to show them in the very near future, and so I'll make an announcement about that, but I can't talk about that yet.
So So now we will introduce to the young generation of European sprinters who will fight in August for the European title in Zurich. The fastest Norwegian, Jaysuma Saidy Ndure, just ran 9:95 last weekend.
Yeah, I saw it.
Then let me introduce to you the world indoor champion from Great Britain, Richard Kilty. The world junior champion, again from Great Britain, Adam Gemili. And from France, the European indoor champion and medalist, Jimmy Vicaut.
So what do you guys do with the French? You don't give them a chair?
No, there is a chair.
Oh, I'm leaving.
No, you can stay with it.
The younger generation. I'm gone. Tell me I'm gone.
No, you can stay.
Oh, I can stand here. Oh.
It's here.
Mine is still time. Okay.
Who's still waiting?
Some people say she can't. I say that.
So the first question for Thijs, how do you feel after the weekend? Looks like you are in pretty good shape.
Everything that we've been working on, me and my coach have been going really well, so it's like we're ready to race.
Adam, what about your season so far? All of you only having a few races so far.
Yeah,
How is this coming along?
yeah, for the GB guys and a lot of European guys, there's a long season ahead, Commonwealth Games and European Championship, so taking it quite slow at first, but building it, getting quicker and quicker. I know OK racing Rome last week, and just looking to build on that in the coming weeks.
Richard, how is your season so far progressing? After the world indoors, looks like your world has changed.
Yeah, I've got to a pretty slow start. I opened up okay in the US, but it usually takes me a couple of races to get into the swing of things. Last season I opened up 10:39, got down to 10:10, so it takes me a while to get quick. So hopefully by the British Championship, I'll be ready to run a lot quicker than I have this year.
You had so far 2 races only, both under 10 seconds. So you feel you're in your best shape of the life?
Oui, c'est ma meilleure saison depuis ma carrière, quoi. Donc je viens de faire 2 fois moins de 10 et j'espère vraiment demain faire une 3e fois moins de 10 et voilà.
Just said his best beginning of the season was 2 races under 2 and after that
Et j'ai peur demain faire encore moins de 10.
so he hopes for less than 10 tomorrow as well.
Carl, what would be your advice to these young people trying running fast?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing I think is setting the ultimate goal and make sure that that's what you're always shooting for. So I when I work with young people, I ask them, what's your ultimate goal? And so if you understand that, then every single day is working towards that. And number 2, when your season gets in, get a countdown timer and just remind yourself how many days, if you're 100 days out, remind yourself how many days you're wasting in a workout. Because it makes you remember that every day can make a difference. So that's it, just young and just stay relaxed on your own race. I know for you tomorrow, being here, it's a big deal. But it's really funny because it's the exact same race it was last week. So just run the same race.
Thank you very much. Question, please?
Do you think you're able to match Carl's times during your period?
I'll try. As I say, we still learning how to run, so every day it's the best. So me and my coach are working, and we still have time to improve on some biggest step on my 100 meters. So this year we've been focusing on my starts, and we've seen that it's working really good. So as soon as I hit that, I think I'll be running something in each race. That's my goal.
Thank you. More questions? Yeah, Nicole.
Adam, question to Adam. very exciting. Does that put pressure on yourselves to just go under that magical barrier, which, Adam, particularly, you're very close to? And also, what's your thoughts on British sprinting as a whole at the moment?
Yes, it's and he is, for me, anyway, I know him very well. It wasn't a shock. Going to do that and surprise people that happened so early on, but I think it's great for British sprinting. We finally got a lot of guys running really quick, and trials and stuff will be really competitive, so it's going to be hard to make teams, and I think that can only boost everyone else's performance up. And no, for me, I don't feel it puts any more pressure on me to run sub 10. Obviously, all sprinters like to do that, but when it happens, it happens. And yeah, and I'm confident in myself and my ability that hopefully one day I can do that. So yeah.
Yeah, as I said, I don't think it necessarily puts pressure on us all, because there's a couple of guys capable of running really quick, but I think it's great for moving the event on in our country. It's great for the relay. I think we're all just aiming, to make the teams and win medals rather than chasing times. That's the important thing we have to remember this year. But it's great for the event in our country that we start to get a lot of guys coming out here and running really quick.
More questions? Yeah, please. Question to all of us. Best US sprinter, Gary, Rogers, Gay, have had a voting of it. How sad are you by this situation? What's your feeling about that?
Well, I think the bigger issue is there are no other fast sprinters. I think that's the real issue. You talk about right here, Great Britain, and there's a focus. And it's really interesting because I've been away for the most part so much. I've been away from sports so much over the last 17. I've been retired for 17 years now. And now that I've gotten back involved at the university level, I kind of see some of the core issues and problems as to why we're not having any success. I think the bigger issue is why are we not better as a nation? I mean, we can't pass the baton anymore. We get disqualified every relay. We're not getting medals. It's become pretty amazing that America's dropped off the face of the earth and so quickly. But part of that is because just because you're American doesn't mean you're supposed to win. You're supposed to actually work hard and dedicate, have good coaching and focus and dedication, and also try to do it drug-free as well. We have that same opportunity and obligation. Now, in terms of the other side, I think the sport has to be really careful because now, no matter what, the vast majority of athletes have always been clean, and they always will be, because most people don't want to take drugs. But it just seems like we're negotiating in and out, and it's just, the sport has to be careful, it doesn't lose credibility. And, you can't, even you as athletes were sitting at the table. At the end of the day, other people make decisions that affect your careers, and so you all ultimately control your careers. And so if the athletes found a way to come together, they could dictate more policy. If you're uncomfortable with issues, then speak on those issues and come together and do it. One thing I want to challenge, you're all young athletes, but what I do want to challenge you is that who do you feel, or what group do you feel, who is actually really throwing themselves on the sword to make the overall sport better? And it doesn't matter how big you are, because that's what makes you big. And if you have talent and you're articulate, all of you are articulate young sprinters, and you're in an event that has a lot of success and a lot of attention, be a leader, then that'll elevate your career. Because I think that's what the sport really could use right now, someone who really speaks out on those issues and is leader, then I think people can follow in. But the thing that I found with Santa Monica Track Club is that we were able to dictate a lot of the policy because we stuck together. And a lot of the promoters we got along very well with. It was tough negotiations and tough work, but the bottom line at the end of the day, we were able to come to an agreement of what we had to do. And I see so much fragmentation with the management, different managers and agents and shoe companies. I mean, there's so much fragmentation. So if the athletes just say, wait a minute here, people are speaking on behalf of us and it's affecting us, not them. And the message, especially in America, because that's where I am, in a lot of cases, people start looking the other way. The big issue wasn't that, whether Tyson Gate tested positive. The big issue wasn't a big story. That was, in the United States, it was not a very big story. It happened, it was over. And remember, you don't worry about when people talk about you, worry about when they stop.
Thank you very much for the statement. Please, more questions? Jace, question about you doing 1 and 2. What is the priority this season? You will balance between both, or?
We've been working really hard on my 200, so these 100, I'm just using them to get my speed, so I don't have better 200. So.
Run those quarters in practice, young man.
Yep. So how we doing? So we'll be running some 400, 300, so I'm really strong in that, so we'll see.
Okay, good luck to that. So you want to compete in both at the European Champs?
Yeah, I'm going to that one too.
Adam, you ran fantastic last year at 200 at the World Championships.
Thank you.
So when we can expect a fast 200 from you this year?
I'm prioritising the 100 metres just at the start of the season, get that, and then potentially move on to some 2s later on in the season. So I've got 2 champs, you Commonwealth Games and Europeans hopefully go and compete at. So still making decisions about what event I'll do at which, but yeah, hopefully be able to compete at both of those and maybe drop a quick 2 as well.
Richard, coming from 60 indoors, what is your feeling now towards the 200?
Last year, the 200 metres was my favourite event, but this year, I felt like I missed a little bit of work, speed endurance work with doing so many indoor races. So I think I'll be skipping the 200 as a whole this year. I'll maybe do 1 or 2 races, but I'll move back on to that more next year.
Thank you. And Jimmy, what is your relation to the 200 meters? Will you run some?
La relation avec les 200 elle est bonne, parce que je pense cette année je vais faire les 200. Mon but c'est de me qualifier sur 100 et 200 d'Europe et pourquoi pas accrocher une finale sur 100 et 200. Mais après pour le moment on est encore loin, je pense à venir 200 et on verra la performance.
His goal is to qualify for both 100 and 200 meters at Zurich for the European Championship. But now it's still far from it, so he will see.
It's a very interesting situation with Jimmy. His personal best is 995, and he did it already 3 times. So what is the special on that number for you?
Je pense que oui, c'est un chiffre spécial de 95, j'ai fait 3 fois. Maintenant j'aimerais bien redescendre son chrono, en tout cas faire, je sais pas, exactement encore. Après je sais pas ce que je vais faire cette année. J'espère que ça ira, car pas de blessure. Ensuite, on verra avec le temps, si j'arrive à descendre ce chrono, je ne pourrai pas battre le record de France. Mais bon, pour le moment, encore. Ça fait encore 2 mois, et je suis encore sans progresser.
It must be something special with that number because it's the 3rd time he has it, and hopefully he will manage to beat it this year. He doesn't know exactly how low he can go this year. He just hopes to be without any injury and try to beat that time this year, and maybe beat the French record.
Any questions in between from the floor?
What is the French record?
992.
Okay, thank you very much. It was a pleasure for us. You have your camera and for